chose, or the tech tool that I chose to talk about, is the Geoboard app or website. To get there, you can simply just do a Google search for Geoboard app, and one of the first options will be from the Math Learning Center. You can see the address right up here, and that's going to be the one you want to select. So once you're there, the page looks like this, and this is an app. It's pretty user-friendly. It's very straightforward. It's a math app, and as we get into it, you'll see kind of how to use it and how pretty straightforward it is. But on this first page, if we scroll down here, kind of gives some of the app features, which again, I'll kind of go over as well. But some of the ways I'm familiar using it are for making different shapes and finding area and perimeter. You can use it for fractions. So it's really great in the elementary age classroom. So to get into the app, you just click Open Web App. And I'm using it on a Mac, but you can use it on an iPhone. You can download the app and use it on an iPad. It works on any Windows devices, on Chromebooks. So it's pretty, like I said, pretty user-friendly. So just to start, it's set up like a typical Geoboard that you would find in, I think, probably a lot of math classrooms. These represent pegs, and then down here we have our different colored rubber bands. And then below that we have all of our different tools. So just to start, this is like the basic board that'll first pop up. If you want to change your board for maybe like more students who are maybe working a little bit faster, want more of a challenge, or if you just are going to be doing multiple things on one board, there's this option for a larger board with more pegs. And then also I find this circular board right here to be helpful for things like fractions and such, which you can use the other boards as well, but just kind of a fun different shape. So for the purposes of just kind of like a brief tutorial, I'm going to use this first board right here. So moving on, just to show you some more of the tools here, our next tool is this one right here. It's the grid, and I'm just going to put a band on here to kind of show you how it looks a little better. And also when you're moving the bands, if you want to make a shape out of one band, you have to pull from the middle here and then move it to a peg. And you'll see there's an X because there's no peg there, so you can't put that there. You can see as I unclick. And as I move it to a peg, it turns green. So if I want to make a triangle, there's your triangle, but I'm going to make a square. So I'm going to move it like that. Now if I were to move from one of the pegs, it moves the whole band instead of stretching it. Well, it's all stretched, but you get the idea. Okay, and this tool, moving back down to our tools, this one right here will give each grid line a number, which can be helpful if you're showing a student what a unit is or how many units are going to be for one line segment, if you're working on area or perimeter or what have you. Our next tool down here, this one right here will duplicate our shape. So if I simply click on the band and then click on this, we have a duplicate shape. And I can move it around. This up here will flip it around. These will just move it. Sometimes I find it easier just to take the whole thing and move it like this. So if you want to show like congruency or anything like that when you're talking about shapes. Okay, our next tool I want to show you is going to be right down here, this one, which you can see it's grayed out right now because we're not clicked on any of the bands. But if I click on a band and then I click on just this one, it'll fill just this shape. Whereas if I were to click on the tool right next to it with a square and a triangle, it fills both. And if you want to change a color of one of these, you click on it and then click on the color change that you'd like to do. So kind of cool. The next tool is this one right here. It looks kind of like calculator tool, which is sort of what it is. It's not an actual calculator, but if you wanted to, you could write out an equation. So for example, if I wanted to find the perimeter of this square right here, I would see here that this is 1 unit, and this is another unit, and another unit. So there's 4 units around the entire square. So just because we'll just do it in addition, we do 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 4, which is kind of cool. And you can also, if you saw that, you can, color code it so it matches the square. So if you were a teacher and you wanted to assess how your students are doing, if you're letting them kind of free to just create whatever they wanted to, you could see if their equation matched their shape. Maybe if you had them find area of whatever shape they make, can they make a shape and then find that area correctly? So just like another like cool way to work with the app. This next tool, this little pencil here, if you click on that, is a drawing tool. So this up here, this first one with the squiggly line, is a freehand pen. As you can see, as it kind of lights up there. So you can make squiggly lines. Again, if you wanted to write something out like area, or if you wanted to like color something in here, it's kind of fun for students. If I wanted to erase that line, I can just hit this eraser here, the single eraser, and that'll erase it. The eraser under here, as I click it, you'll see clear all drawing. That'll clear it, or whatever you'd like to do with it. I'm not going to clear it because we are still working on it. This straight lined drawing tool will draw just that, a straight line. So it's just another cool tool. I'll just erase that. And if you want to change the color, you just click on this little color wheel and you have your option for colors. X out of that. And then one of the last tools down here is this trash can. So if I wanted to click on this purple triangle and I'm like, I don't want to keep that anymore, I'm just gonna trash it. It's just the trash can. And this last little button here, this eye with a circle around it, is the about button. So when we click on that, you have a little how-to page, which is really nice. It's got pictures and nice descriptions. So if you ever have students who are like, wait a minute, what does this do? If they don't want to click on it, they can refer to this. So that's basically it. As I mentioned, it's a really straightforward app. It's really cool. There's a lot of different things that you can do with it to incorporate it into your math lesson. You can also, on that website here, they've got different resources as well. And there's also a little video on it too. And if you search just Geoboard App, sometimes you can get some lesson stuff as well that'll go along with it. So that is the Geoboard Tech Tool. Thanks, guys. Hope you can use it in your future classrooms.